Welcome to GX Overland. So this channel is dedicated to those that are dipping a toe into overlanding and specifically thinking about building up the Lexus GX470 as the platform of choice. So a couple years ago, when I first got my GX470, I looked on YouTube for any videos that would help me get the truck set up to go off-roading at that point. And all I found was videos from used car dealerships selling their cars. I found car and driver review kind of videos, but nothing that helped me with what I wanted to. So thankfully I had a friend that was into GXs and into off-roading and helped putting me in the right direction. Well, recently he invited me on an overlanding trip, which is the first time I did that. So I got a roof rack for my truck, got a rooftop tent, and we went for a few days around Central California, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I definitely caught the bug. I am all in on overlanding. So with that, I got plugged into some forums and Facebook groups about this whole idea about GX470 overlanding, and so much of it was so beyond me. I just wanted to know simple things like what kind of suspension to use. And they were talking about all this, like, this $10,000 suspension setup, dual batteries and refrigerators and all that kind of stuff. And it was so far beyond me. So this channel is kind of paying it forward. It's videos that I wish were there when I was starting to build my GX. So in the future, we will do a video walk around my truck to let you know kind of the upgrades that I've done, some stuff I'm working on, as well as some of my wish list kind of things. But also we'll do some deep dives into some products that are commercially made, but also ones that people in the GX community have fabricated on their own. Welders or kind of makers in their own right, figuring out solutions, putting them on the forums, and people going, can you build that for me? And them making a side business out of that. And so that's what this channel is going to be dedicated to. But for this video, I wanted us to just talk about one main idea, and that's this. Why the heck would you build a Lexus GX470? Aren't those for soccer moms? So we're going to go through 5 reasons why I picked the GX470 as a platform to build. First of all, it's the 120 platform, the Toyota 120 platform. So if you're not familiar with that, that's the same platform as the Land Cruiser Prado, known around the world as the Land Cruiser Prado, the FJ Cruiser, the cool, eclectic, weird vehicle, but also the 4Runner. And so the parts are interchangeable. There's a huge aftermarket suspension, sliders, all that kind of stuff that are for that aftermarket. And actually a lot of fabricators that build things for 4Runner or Land Cruiser Prado or FJ, less so the FJ, but with the simple modifications, they can make them work for the GX470. So the first one is the 120 platform, a well-known, established off-roading and overlanding platform around the world. Second reason is the V8 engine. Actually, you'll get a V8 engine in the Lexus GX470 that you can't get in the standard configurations of the FJ or the 4Runner, even though they cost more, which we'll talk about later. So the V8 engine, which is a huge plus. You want all the power you can get if you're pulling someone out of a recovery situation, or just to get up trails, or to carry loads, or to tow things. It's just really handy. So the V8 engine is great. The third reason is soccer mom status, which I know sounds like a bad thing at first, but it's actually a positive thing. And let me tell you why. When you get a Jeep Wrangler or an FJ Cruiser or a 4Runner, the person that's going to buy that for the most part is going to take it off-roading or want to take it off-roading or beef up the suspension or whatever they're going to do. With the GX470, the main market, if you think about the main people that have a GX470 in your neighborhoods and your cities, they're soccer moms. You're more likely to see them at Target or on the soccer field, or maybe next to the soccer field. But you're more likely to see them in those situations than you will off-road, which is great. That means they haven't beefed up the suspension, they haven't taken it on trails, they haven't done a whole lot to it besides take it to the Lexus dealership to get their maintenance done. Most GXs are one-owner vehicles, maybe two-owner vehicles, and most of those individuals take their vehicles to the Lexus dealership because they bought a $55,000, $60,000 truck. They're going to take it to the dealership to get their light bulbs changed, the oil changed, and all that kind of stuff, because that is the typical owner of a Lexus GX470. So when you get it, it's in great condition. Mine had 16 pages worth of service history. Literally, the visor was squeaky, and so they replaced it per the customer. The light bulbs in the license plate, light bulbs needed to be replaced, so they replaced those at the dealership. The perfect kind of car you want to have and then build off of. Number 4, Lexus reliability and comfort. Lexus reliability and comfort. This thing is a Lexus. It's a Toyota, so it's going to last forever. Actually, going back to the engine, this engine in particular, this V8 engine, this Toyota engine, has been known to go over 1 million miles. 1 million miles. Do that with your Jeep. Actually, before I had the GX, I had 2 Jeep Wranglers, a TJ and a JK Unlimited, a 4-door. And they were both great, but I wouldn't take them across the country. And especially as my JK Unlimited got higher up in miles, my transmission started slipping pretty regularly. And I found out that it's not an uncommon issue because it's the same transmission in Chrysler minivans. It's kind of interesting, right? So I had to get rid of it because what I wanted in a new vehicle was practicality. I wanted reliability. My wife and I are right now planting a church, and it's not exactly a super stable thing to do. So we needed a vehicle that was a daily driver, but was also super reliable, that just wasn't going to break down on a regular basis and be just starting its journey at 150, 160,000 miles. So not only Lexus reliability, but Lexus comfort too. I mean, this is a Land Cruiser Prado in a tuxedo, right? So you got leather seats, and you have plush suspension, you have GPS and nav, you have a great Mark Levinson sound system. It's just nice. When you're inside, you don't feel like you're in an off-road vehicle. It doesn't feel utilitarian. With my Jeep, cruise control was an optional feature, right? It's not that way with this. It has all the bells and whistles, and even though my vehicle is now 14 years old, you would never know it when you get inside. So that Lexus comfort and reliability. And lastly, you're not going to find a better bang for your buck. What's so wild is even though this is just as capable or even more capable than an FJ or a 4Runner, it is significantly less money, which is crazy. I got mine for $9,000 with 130,000 miles on it, and it ran perfect. It still runs perfect. Try getting a 4Runner for $9,000. It's not going to be nearly as nice as what you can get for a GX, and who knows how hard it's been ridden. Like I said, with the GX470, you're going to get Toyota reliability, Lexus comfort. It's going to have a V8 engine. It's not going to be driven hard, especially if you get one that's never been built up before. It's been going to Target and Starbucks and to the soccer field. Like, that's really it. And so that is why I picked the GX470. This video is already way too long, and so what we're going to do is end it here, and in the future, we'll do more videos walking through the vehicle and why we chose certain things and what's on our list to do in the future. Comment below what questions you have, and I'll answer any questions that you have. All right? Have a great one, and get outside.